So simplifying radicals. So a perfect square is the product of multiplying the same integer to itself twice. Think of it like a square. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4. So some other perfect squares. 5 times 5 is 25, 36, 49, 8 times 8 is 64, 81, 100. We'll see how many of these, 121, 144, 169, and you could keep going and type all of these in. You'd probably need a calculator for some of these other ones. So a perfect square is the integer that is multiplied to itself twice to produce a perfect square. Or I should say a square number, sorry. Those are called square numbers. This symbol is called the square root. So the square root of 49 is 7. The square root of 100 is 10. Negative 25, that one's not possible. So if we square root something, we can square root the top and the bottom. So this would be 3 over 8. This would be 1 over 4. And you'd need a calculator for that one. And this one, I believe this is 0.12. And this one is 0.07. But you could use a calculator to figure that out. So here's some of your perfect squares in a chart that you'll want to refer back to. Now, some integers are not perfect squares, so their square roots are really ugly. For example, the square root of 40 is this decimal. The square roots of integers that aren't perfect squares, we can't take the square root of those. We can simplify the square roots, so these are all called radicals. We can simplify these square roots by removing the largest perfect square. So for example, you can take the square root of a times the square root of b. We talked about this. You can take the square root of the top and bottom. So for example, 40 equals the square root of 4 times the square root of 10. So this is 2 square root of 10 in simplified form. We square root the top and square root the bottom. So this would be the square root of 5 over 2. 75 is the square root of 3 times the square root of 25. So it would be 5 times the square root of 3. Square root the top, square root the bottom. So it's 3 over 5. 124, I think that's divisible by 4. So the square root of 4 times the square root of 31. 512. Is that divisible by 4? Let me see. Let's see, 832. So this is the square root of 4 times the square root of 128. But I have the feeling 128 is divisible by 4. So this is the square root of 4, square root of 4, square root of 32. That's 8 times 4, square root of 4, square root of 4, square root of 4, square root of 8. 8 is 4 times 4. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So it simplifies to 16 square root of 2.